Hey YouTube, it's Graxy. Welcome back to the channel. Hero Siege Season 8 begins on September 12th, and with that, I'm going through all of my build guides from Season 7 and updating them for the new patch. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my starter and progression guide for the Surgical Bloodletting Plague Doctor. This is going to give you all the information that you need to know to leak start this character, get it into early hell so you can start farming, to progress into the mid game, and ultimately run this character in the end game. So be sure you hit subscribe, keep up to date with all future Hero Siege related news, build guides, and content. Let's get started, right? First things first, disclaimer, this was made during the closed beta phase of Season 8 with the content mechanics that were available at that time. I did not have, or we did not have item spawners for Season 8 this time around, so this is really going to be based on previous season build trends, as well as me just going into the journal and theory crafting with the new items and reworked items that are in there. If you've never played Surgical Bloodletting before, here's what it looks like. You're just going to right click, you get a bunch of knives that fly around you, right? You run into enemies. Before you get the chest augment, they're all just going to stack in there like that. Once you have the chest augment, or later on in the game, you will have the ability to make it look like this. Like imagine Torstein's an enemy here. They're just going to pierce right through him, right? You have a mount that you can walk on, or that you can ride on, and you're just going to run around, hit enemies, and they're going to die. That's the whole build, right? That's the whole build for the most part. You also have a ton of life stacking mechanics, which is great for survivability, tons of leech. It's a very fun build. It's a fan favorite in the melee builds community, basically. So yeah, let's talk about what's changing for the physical plague doctor. First things first, bloodletting did get a little bit of a nerf, right? It did get a little bit of a nerf to its life scaling, its lifeblood conversion here. You can see it's normally 20%. It is now changed down to 12%. So it's 8% per point, right? That you are going to feel that one a little bit going into the next season. Honestly, with some of the new items and the reworks and just what you're able to get with star leveling and all that stuff, you're not going to feel this later on. It just might be a little bit of a hit right at the start. If you end up playing a Blood Thaumaturgist at all, this did get a nerf. It's 20% per point, so a 60% conversion nerf on that one. And then Crematus also up, down, left, and right in Crematus. You're going to be leveling as this. You're not really going to feel it while you're leveling. So that's a big plus. And then Randy did get a little bit of a nerf, or excuse me, Randy did get a bit of a buff where you now take 4 hits instead of just 1, right? Randy can take 4 hits before you fall off. Thank you, right? Instead of just 1. So that is a big buff. Also, weapons in general just got a buff, right? So you're going to be leveling as a poison caster, so you're not going to be picking up like big ED weapons. But once you're getting to that point where you're going to want to transition into bloodletting and your attack damage matters, you're going to be finding some S tier weapons that have a shitload of attack damage, right? And you can star level them and get even more on them, which is crazy, right? So that is a big plus to the build as well. But I think for Season 8, the bloodletting is going to be better than it's ever been with some of the reworks and new items and stuff, right? For pros and cons, you do have insane survivability with life stacking. Your damage is partially your life pool. You have really good movement for a melee build, large AoE vortexes, and really good sustain with leech for both mana and life. However, you are best leveled as a poison caster. Some people don't like this. I don't like Crematus, straight up. Some people don't like it, but it is really the best option. And you're going to need Divine Piercings, Chest Augment to make this build really open up. Like I said before, this is what that Divine Piercing will do, right? Without it, it makes it look like this. With it, it'll make it look like this. And it feels way better to be playing with Divine Piercing. And you also have no direct damage reduction other than a flask proc. So that, I mean, you have so much life that you generally don't need the damage reduction. But it's nice to have on some of these classes that can passively scale some damage reduction. Now for skill trees, I do have everything listed in here that you'll need to level the character as Crematus from levels 1 all the way up to 100 for the Bloodletting and 100 for the Crematus. So if you are just leveling up the character, just follow what I have in here. So you're going to put points into Crematus until you hit level 8. Continue putting points into it. Here's what you'll use for bossing for the Plague of Rats, right? This will just give you all the information that you need to level the character in the skill trees. And then sub-skill trees, if you're not familiar, these are the additional windows that I'm opening up here. This is the sub-skill tree. Most of the skills will have this plus sign right? That shows you how to get to their sub skill tree. You get a point every 5 character levels. So while you're leveling up, you hit level 5, open up your sub skill tree, put a point in. It'll make a big difference in your overall damage and just feel the builds. So I will have all the sub skill trees in here for you for the bloodletting and for the poison leveling, right? So you know exactly what you need to take to get the character to level 100. For attributes, while we're leveling from 1 to 100, you're going to put 2 points intelligence, 2 points vitality, get enough energy to feel comfortable. You can get energy on charms, mana on charms, mana sustain for mana on kill, stuff like that. It's really going to help make the build not feel terrible to play. And then intelligence is how you get damage. It's a synergy to a caster, right? Now, once you move into bloodletting, you're going to go all vitality, get as much life as you can. And same thing for the end game. You'll be going all vitality to get as much damage as you can, as much survivability as you can. In terms of gearing, there's going to be some different sections here that'll give you workable gear within those sections, workable suggestions. So while we're going from 1 to 100, I have in here different affixes that you're going to want to look for just on rare or mythic gear. You know, things like all skills, poison skill damage, faster cast rate, things that generally make sense for a poison caster build, right? So those will be available on every item type, as well as I do have some rune words in here that if you're able to make some of these rune words, fantastic. If not, no harm, no foul. And you're not required to make any rune words to get through the campaign. It's just nice if you're able to make them. Now, as far as gems go, we are going to be using poison gems, and these are going to be emeralds, right? These are going to be emeralds. These are going to give you poison skill damage. So it'll be these same ones here, just poison instead of physical. And that's going to give you a ton of additional damage while you're leveling up. And then we are working on getting some leveling satanics. Do not stop to farm for leveling satanics. It is a waste of your time unless you're maybe a brand new player and you just want to have an easier time, or maybe you just want to casually play through. Sure, in that case, by all means, you do you. But if you're trying to push through the campaign quickly, do not stop for leveling satanics. Yeah, they can be insane. There are some really good ones. We're gonna put them all in this section here, but you don't need any to level a character, right? For the budget at level 100, there's no best in slot gear here at this time, right? There's a lot of this stuff that can be swapped in and out depending on, you know, what you got going on with your character. So I'm going to give you a bunch of just workable suggestions. Whatever you're able to get your hands on based off of price, or whether you're an SSF, whatever it may be, will be just fine. Our main goal here at level 100 is just to get through Hell 1, kill Mevius, so we can unlock Satanic Zones and start killing and start farming in Satanic Zones, so that we can drop heroics and progress into the mid game and ultimately the end game, right? So for progression gear, once again, I have everything listed out and things that you are going to want to try to get in the mid game. Again, there's no best in slot gear here. There's some different choices that you can make based off of, you know, what you want to farm in the game. Target farming is back now, right? Target farming is back. We have the ability to go into specific zones and have way, way better odds at getting the heroics from that zone, the chase heroic from that zone. So by all means, go through here, check out some of the different items that I have listed, pick some of these that you might want, and go farm those zones to try to target farm some items. It will make a big difference. If you're playing in trade, obviously you can trade and do that whole thing. I don't play trade. So yeah. Now, shadow items, much harder to get in Season 8 than Season 7. Season 7, you could walk in there with a branch. You could kill Reaper with a branch. So you're not going to do that anymore. He's got way more life. He's got some different mechanics than he previously did. So getting these shadow items is going to be harder, but they can be very strong. It can be very, very strong if you're able to get yourself an early shadow item. It'll kind of like allow you to skip through a lot of this stuff. And shadow items are going to make you stack a bunch of enhanced damage, right? A bunch of enhanced damage, a bunch of deadly blow, a bunch of crushing blow, that sort of thing, to get a lot of damage out of the weapon instead of stacking crit and crit damage. Okay. Molten Paw is also really important. It's a way that we can get burning on enemies. Anytime we attack, they will start burning, and we can start using things like extra damage to burning enemies. There are some different items that you can get with that stat on there, and it's just free damage, right? And then of course there is star leveling, right? Star leveling is back. If you don't remember star leveling, or you didn't play with star leveling back in season 5, go watch this video. I just uploaded it a couple days ago. It'll give you a ton of information on how star leveling works in season 8 and why you'd want to do it, why it's so powerful. Very, very important that you know how to star level going into season 8, right? Okay. Now, once you've gotten through all of your mid-game progression items, we also have the Inferno only items. These were removed out of the mid-game section. They're going to be much harder to farm than they were in season 7. So I put these in their own category as aspirational items, things that you could try to get, right? Once you basically have a cleared character from the progression section, you could try to push into the Inferno and grind out some of these items, right? For relics, we are going to be playing a crit build, right? We are playing a crit build, so there are going to be some very specific relics that we can use. You do get a 5th relic slot now. This will unlock from killing Uber Amon-Ra or Uber Gabriel. So you're able to, pick a 5th relic that maybe you want to get some, additional movement speed. Maybe you want more life. Maybe you want certain proc effects. Maybe you want, the options are up to you. There are still the staples for crit builds, right? But you get another one now. Most likely, you're probably going to pick another crit one, to be honest with you. Another crit one, or maybe you don't have Commander Sword or Monkey King Bar, right? Maybe you'll probably roll one of those, but you have options. For potions, they haven't really changed much. Potions are the same thing. You're going to use pretty much the same ones you were using before. If you're not sure on potions, take a look at some different ones in here. There's a lot of really good options. If you are using the Molten Paw, you can go with Coffee Container. This will give you damage to burning targets, right? That combo is really strong. Really, really strong. For chest augments, you pretty much have to go Divine Piercing. I don't really see many situations where you're not going to go Divine Piercing unless you just don't like it, right? So 9 out of 10 times you'll take that one, but there are some other options technically. For Mercenaries, they were changed in Season 8. There's a lot of buffs and changes to their skills and all sorts of things going on here. Most likely, you're going to either use the Archer Merc to get the most amount of attack speed or the Knight Merc to have a tank, right? The Archer Merc, you can get enough cooldown reduction to be able to maintain the 100% attack speed buff. This also got buffed in Season 8, so you can get a lot of attack speed out of your Merc now. A little bit hard to keep the Merc alive, especially in some of these boss fights, but that is available. Mercs also have belts, gloves, and boots now. So we've gone through and added some different item options available for those slots. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be magic finding the hell out of my Merc. I'm going to put as much magic find on them as I can. So a lot of the item suggestions are going to be very magic find focused. Later on, if you want to build some crazy aura botting, Merc boss killing, whatever, go for it. But my suggestions are going to be get as much magic find early as you can on your mercenary. It's really going to help you with finding items and that progression. Okay, but you do you. For hero levels, they haven't really changed. There's a couple of nodes on the tree that got a little bit of buffs. If you remember hero levels from before, can be the same deal as before. If you're not familiar with them, go watch this video. You'll learn everything you need to know about hero levels and what you need to do in order to spec your tree out. Glyphs didn't change at all. Same dealio, right? Same dealio there, guys. Go watch the video if you're not familiar with glyphs. This will be really important for tailoring your farming to specific things, right? These will help you with getting more drops out of certain things that you're farming, right? So it is important that you understand how glyphs work. So go watch this. It's just they are going to be removing glyphs. That's kind of why I'm like, man, I want glyphs, right? They are going to be removing glyphs in the future season. Loot filters. I will have loot filters available for everyone. This is going to be for every class, every archetype. That this video is already scheduled to go out, I believe tomorrow, the day before the open beta. So you'll be able to see exactly how I would put together a loot filter, as well as we're going to try and have these available as imports. We have never been able to do that between seasons, but maybe we'll be able to do it this time and it'll work. If not, there's full written guides that show you exactly what to put on at different stages of the game for every character, every archetype, right? It'll look just like this. You know exactly how to make your filter. And then of course from there, if you want to tailor it to your own needs, by all means. And of course, last but not least, we do have the helpful resources section. I am working on updating this a little bit. I'll be doing this probably through the season 2 a bit, as some of these are a little bit outdated. But this gives you some progression tips, mining guides, the Hero Siege helper, the official Hero Siege wiki, how to quest and different questing stuff, damage formulas, all that sort of stuff. I'm working on updating on the website, but there is a document available in every single one of my guides that will link to this if you want that information. And yeah, that's going to wrap up the Surgical Plague Doctor for Season 8. It's looking like it's going to be a strong build once again. So those Plague Doctors out there have been asking me, is it Plague Doctor still good? Plague Doctor is just fine. It'll be stronger than it's ever been. So thank you all for watching. Come check me out live at twitch.tv/Graxton_TV. Of course, we'll be blasting the beta. It's going to be a ton of fun. Hope to see you guys there. And we'll see you in the next video.